We are live. Hello, everyone. It's been, about 2-3 weeks since we last came on. As you all know, we'll say I'm Walter. This is, of course, the Botluck Productions commentary stream on the Digimon from the Digimon reference manual. Or something like that. The name changes, but the idea is still the same. So, that's my phone. I can't really turn that off because, let's just say there may be some work-related things that I may have to be aware of, so, yeah, that's got to stay there. So, if you're wondering why 2 weeks ago I had to pause this, there was that ice storm, snowstorm, however it is. And my concern is whether that affects the power grid or infrastructure, because where I live, the infrastructure is not designed for cold weather. So, it's not just, the pipes burst and can't do anything. No, it's more like the power grid doesn't know what to do, because all of a sudden you have a bunch of people trying to turn their heaters on and, let's just say that could burn out a power grid. So that was my concern at the time, because I don't want to do a stream and then all of a sudden it stops because I lost power. There were some other things that happened, but that's beside the point. So, now that that's out of the way, let's go over the quick rundown of how this works. Hello, V Scorpio. Nice to see you. So, the way how this stream works is we go through a Digimon. I give my opinion on the Digimon. I have to say something that I like about the design, something that I dislike about the design, something that I might change, and then pretty much go from there. Now, I can't be vague and be like, this doesn't feel like a Digimon. I have to actually explain why. If I say that I like it, I kind of have to explain why I like it. If I don't like it, I have to explain why I don't like it. And some quick things we find, I don't like recolors of Digimon as they just kind of appear there. We've also seen a lot of Agumons, and I have a feeling we'll encounter maybe one more Agumon. That's another design element that we've seen. Digimon that feel out of level, Digimon that, let's be real, they're just a kid in cosplay. We've seen a lot of designs. Starting from last session, I'll also be reading the description of the Digimon, since that has shown to help explain what the where the designers were going with this. So, we're slowly changing. We'll see how things go once we get to the champions, if that's something we occur. Now, any other channel updates? Still working on the review. That's about all I gotta say. So yeah. Let's go on into the first Digimon of the day, of the night. Lylemon. Oh, I moved into a new place. Nice to hear, Renomon 565. It's good to hear. It may seem difficult early on, but don't worry. Slowly but surely, you'll get used to the place. So, here we have Lylemon. Holy Beast Digimon with golden fur. There seems to be extremely few Lylemon in existence, and so it wasn't confirmed until recent years. This incredibly territorial Digimon won't tolerate anything invading its territory, even its own kin. The hair on Lylemon's head is charged with static electricity when it's on guard, and it emits a threatening sound. It uses its special move, Lyle Claw, to cleave its foes with sharp claws, or Critical Bite to aim for enemies' vitals with its fangs. The Critical Bite has enough explosive power to floor champion Digimon in a single blow, but it has low rate of success. As the Scorpio says, it's the Simba Digimon. Lylemon kind of looks like Simba from The Lion King. And yeah, that pretty much gives a good kind of view on Lylemon. It looks like Simba. Although I never saw it, I know there was the Lion King Kingsguard or something, and I think this leans more towards that design of the main character, but I think this came first, and so they just added the. I say that because of the red tuft. That because the character in that show also has a red tuft. From what I've seen, I've never seen the show. So let's kind of go over things that I like about the design. For one, it reads pretty much like a small lion cub. They did a very good job with that. We got Holy Beast vaccine. So again, we got the Holy Ring and the. This I find interesting in that they added a jewel. The Lion Guard and the lion is Keon. Okay. Oh, the lion. Yeah. I never saw it as far as I can tell. It seems to have done well, but I don't know. But yeah, the red tuft of hair of here kind of reminds me of that character from what I've seen, but I don't think this is a reference to that. Honestly, I'm very surprised this isn't a Kimba the White Lion reference. But regardless, some of the design elements, the jewel is an interesting thing. I don't have any problems with it. I do find it a bit weird to add, especially since Gatomon just has a simple tail ring. But I guess that works. I think this is just the design element. The musculature of the front paw is weird to me. But then again, that might just be art design. Things I like, things I don't like. So I like that it looks like a lion cub. They went out of their way to do that and not something very vague. What I don't like, I think I'm going to go with the jewel thing. I don't think it was necessary to add, especially given holy rings, because it just kind of like, well, here's Lylemon's bling. And I don't know, I know it's not an early Digimon, and after, I think, the 2000s, they went a little more. They started going away from the edgy 90s design aesthetic, although this still has references to that we see in the paw. But other than the amulet, I guess like the only thing I would change is probably omission of that jewel, since I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to add something that brings an attention to the holy ring, because it's the same color as the fur. And now I'm wondering if maybe they should have done a Kimba the White Lion reference just to accentuate the ring. No, that would make it look like Gatomon then. Okay, I see now. Yeah, this is a design they had. It looks like they had some. They put some thought into it. Why they couldn't do one thing and the other. But yeah, things I like. Looks like a lion. Things I don't like. I think the jewel is unnecessary. I think something else could have been done to change it. Other than that, this thing on the tail, this coloration is just driving me. Ugh. But I'm okay with it, if only because it helps add some difference to the design. So yeah, we're gonna go with that. What I like, it looks like a lion, and what I don't like is the jewel on the holy ring. I'm not giving it a perfect grade because I don't know. There's something that's still I don't know. But I'm wondering if that's just the art direction. So, as always, we'll take about 30 seconds to... Not 30 seconds. 20 seconds to kind of take in, have you guys comment, and we'll see where this... and go from there. And alright, that was the time. We're going to go down Next we have Lugamon, fairly new one in all this. A dark beast Digimon presumed to be an experimental prototype Digimon from before Digimon were discovered due to the old-fashioned interface on its forehead. Where have we heard that before? It is said that the deepest part of its digicore contains data of a warg from the warg of real-world mythology, which can be seen its capacity for rage beyond that of a typical rookie. Those who are deceived by its puppy-like appearance and approach it without proper caution may find themselves at the receiving end of a vicious attack. Lugamon recognizes those with the ability to control it as its master. Its loyalty is as hard to break as it is to obtain, making it a valuable companion. It shoots flame imbued with magical energy from its mouth, with its special move Howling Fire, and bites in a spinning formation using its sharp fangs with a spiral bite. So, right from the get-go, I appreciate that we got another prototype Digimon. It is an X-antibody. We've got another good boy, a wolf in this case, although I think this one goes more towards Fenrir, wargs, which my knowledge of fantasy things are a bit limited. Let me check and see if wargs was something from Tolkien or if there's some other... No, that's not what I'm looking for. Oh, it is. Huh. With a solid... No. Okay. So, I wanted to look it up because I had heard about wargs before, and I immediately thought, oh, this is a Tolkien thing. Apparently it is a Tolkien thing, but there's some earlier references to Norse mythology, so... Okay then. That's new, that's something new to learn. So, as those know, Logamon was one of the new Digimon. They were from, not Seekers. Let me check it out. I have the dim. No, it is Seekers. Lugamon was the main one of the main partner Digimon from Seekers. Had a whole line. Rather interesting. They made Logamon a prototype Digimon, and what I think the reason they did that was they wanted. This is going back to Dorumon. The way how I had seen it, Dorumon was supposed to be a mix of a dragon and a wolf, hence why it looks like a raptor thing but furry. But then you have Ryudamon, that's a dragon. And so what I think they were trying to do was they wanted to have another prototype type Digimon referencing the canine companions of Digimon partners to complement Ryudamon, who's more like the dragon type partners for Digimon. Well, that creates a weird thing with Dorumon, but I think that's going more towards beasts, so... Regardless, when I first heard about Logamon, I was actually interested in the design, in the character. I initially wanted to get a dim for the V-Pet. Unfortunately, Lugamon, the only way to get Lugamon's dim for the Vita bracelet was you had to get a limited edition wrist strap. This is one of the main characters from a show, and the only way to get the character was from a limited edition wrist strap. I don't know what Bandai was thinking with that. It's not what I would have done, but hey, I'm not the one that makes that money. So, things about the design. Number one, I like that we have references to where Garurumon, with the belts, the Final Fantasy belts, boxer's tape in the back, although I think that's just foot-leg wrappings. Lugamon definitively reads wolf. There is no way else to think about it. This is a wolf. I like the coloring that they did towards that standard grayish wolf look. Especially compared to something like, say, Gabumon, where he can technically that he's more of a lizard wearing a pelt, so technically not really a wolf. are a canine. Logomon looks like a canine style. That being said, I do think they may be leaning a bit too much into the canine partner is blue compared to the dragon, which is red. That's just me. So I like that it looks like a wolf. I like that they've taken inspiration from Digimon's past and have added little tidbits such as the belts. I like that it's a canine and it's blue. Things I don't like. I don't think the interface was necessary. And I know why, because Dorumon has that interface, and if I remember correctly, Ryudamon has that interface. Let me do a quick look on that. It's been a while. Yeah, Ryudamon also has the interface. So I appreciate that they're trying to keep a design consistency, but and it might just be from the direction that I'm seeing this interface. This doesn't really read the interface from the prototype. It just kind of reads armor plate with reddish pink color. And I don't know, I'm almost wondering if they would have done better to omit the interface or put the interface somewhere else on the design. Like maybe as a collar or even on the back. I like the red claws. I think that was a neat touch. Really, my big complaint is the interface. I know why they added it. They needed to say that this is a prototype Digimon, but I'm wondering if they could have placed it elsewhere. Other than that, I like that it looks like a wolf. I like the references to Digimon's past and possible future. The only thing I don't like is the interface. And one quick little thing about the past. If you know anything about the early Digimon designs, you'll notice they're all muscled up and veiny. That's a weird thing to say. If you look on one of the arms, front paws, there's actually a bit of a vein. And I'm wondering if that was added in as a little reference to Digimon's past. The reason I say that is, as Digimon designs have moved forward, they've kind of moved away from the veins. But other than that, I think it's a good design, a good little boy. But I just don't like the interface location. And this is tough because I don't know. I want to give it the perfect, but I don't. It's weird because there are some. I'm going to give it the perfect. I think this is a good design and what you should shoot for when it comes to a Digimon. The only thing I will say with designs is be aware of where you put greeble, where you put little design elements. And actually looking at it now, I think they're putting a bit too much complexity into the head. But otherwise, I think it's a good design and is one of the perfects. So, yeah. I like that it looks like a wolf and references Digimon's past. I don't like the placement of the interface. I would have moved it elsewhere or placed it something or changed it. So we're going to give the 20 seconds. Alright, and that was the 20 seconds on the design. Let me do a quick check on something. Testing, 1, 2, 3, testing, 1, 2, 3. When I was talking earlier, was it kind of muted? Because I'm having to fight between the mic on my webcam and the mic on my Blue Yeti. And OBS likes to mess around with the two. If there are any issues with this, do bring it up, because I want to make sure that this is good for those watching. Good for y'all. Nope, no problems? Okay. So here we get to Lopmon. See other illustrations. Huh. That's new. Okay. Lopmon. Lopmon is the rookie Digivolution of one sibling in a pair of extremely rare twin Digimon. Of the two, Terriermon has one horn growing from its head, while Lopmon has three. Their ecosystem is wrapped in mystery, and while their composition is enough to deem them beast Digimon, nothing else is known about them. Terriermon has a laid-back personality, a bit with a lot of energy, while Lopmon has the opposite disposition, being more of a lonely crybaby. Neither seem like Digimon of combat species, but they do show unexpected power in battle. Lopmon's signature move are Terrier Tornado, where it spins both its ears like a propeller to create a small tornado, and the team attack Double Typhoon. Its special move, Blazing Ice, involves firing a blast of icy bullets. So, here we have Lopmon. For those who don't know, Lop is the... I believe there's a species of rabbit called Lop, and I also believe Lop is either Latin or Spanish for rabbit. Let me do a quick check on that. No. Lop rabbit refers to any rabbit with ears that droop as opposed to being carried erect. A number of rabbit breeds are characterized by such long ears. Okay. But yeah. Lopmon is basically the bunny Digimon. Rookie for a diva, indeed. If I'm correct, for the series, Lopmon technically appeared in the Hurricane Touchdown film, but pretty much their television debut was Digimon Tamers. As V Scorpio has said, Lopmon was the rookie form of the Deva, of the Rabbit Deva. And yeah, it's very easy to confuse Lopmon and Terriermon. A lot of people say Terriermon is based on a rabbit. He's actually based off of a terrier, a rat terrier dog. Lopmon goes more the rabbit route, but... So. That being said, Digimon doesn't do much with Lopmon. They tend to go more with Terriermon, which, yeah, he was a main character and got pants, whereas Lopmon became evil. Although, I do believe Lopmon appears in Digimon Frontier. Yes, Lopmon got two ultimate, one good and one evil. Yeah. Which gets weird because those are technically two different Digimon, but they have the same name. So things about the design of Lopmon. They did enough to change Lopmon that this isn't a recolor of Terriermon. They did add extra horns. They added in pink highlights to the ears and the tufts. The issue I have with the coloring with Lopmon is, if I'm correct, and it has to do with Terriermon. No, that's not. I was thinking that Lopmon's color reminded more of a rat terrier, but looking at rat terrier fur patterns, no, it's white, so they actually did a good job with Terriermon. I don't know. I know rabbits can be brown. I know there are rabbits with brown fur. Generally, when I think of a rabbit, I think more of a white rabbit, but that might just be because of Alice in Wonderland. this is weird because I know they have to make it a twin Digimon, so it has to be the same to Terriermon. But I'm almost wondering if they could have done a little more to change Terriermon and Lopmon. The good one got a purple scarf. Hmm. Um, I think so. I have to say something I like and say something I dislike. So what I like is they did something to make Lopmon different from Terriermon. They gave Lopmon three horns. I also appreciate that they went the direction of making Lopmon a rabbit and played with it. On the other hand, not a big fan of the coloration, as it doesn't really read rabbit to me. Um, I think the brown coloration, I don't know. I can see why people would confuse Terriermon for a rabbit. Lopmon, it's weird. Lopmon doesn't look like a rabbit. Like I know it's a rabbit because of the ears, but with the brown coloration, it kind of goes, well, this isn't a rabbit. It's weird. I don't know how to describe it. Um, I guess what I don't like is they didn't do enough to really change from Terriermon. I like that they tried. They added something, but I don't think they added enough. What they would have added, I really don't know. Um, this is hard. It's not a recolor. Well, it technically is a recolor, but it fits the design element. It's different, but it's not different enough. I'm going to say what I don't like about Lopmon is it looks like my original character Do Not Steal. And I think that's where I'm going to go with it. I like that they tried to make the character different. I like that it looks like a rabbit. I don't feel they did enough to really make Lopmon different. And it just reads more like an OC, like an original character. At the very least, it's not a recolor, but it feels, I don't know. I'm a little conflicted. I think I prefer Terriermon's design. So yeah, what I like looks like a rabbit. They did more to change it from Terriermon. What I don't like is I don't think they did enough. So we're going to give it the 20 seconds. If you excuse me, I have a phone call. Excuse me for a moment. Hello? Yes? Doing all right? I'm so sorry about that. I'm so sorry about that. That was an important call. Uh, every session, something happens. Anyway, back at it, and hopefully those that are still here. Lotmon X antibody. We're just going to skip the front because it's just a copy. Effects of the X antibody on Lotmon's Digimon core. Its air, hair, and tail are more buoyant than air, letting it float gently on the breeze. Lotmon X antibodies Chen Garnet ear jewelry is linked to Terriermon X antibody and constantly informs one of how the other is doing. Lotmon X antibody's favorite thing to do is go on an aerial stroll with Terriermon X antibody, who it cares for deeply. Its special move, Phyros Typhoon, is a team attack where the two unleash a blast of hot and cold air at the exactly same time. So, Magic Girl. So we've seen this again with a lot of X antibodies. A lot of complexity into the design. And we've seen they've added in a... Knowing now what this is, that gives me an idea as to what they're doing here. They're giving it an ear ring, an ear communicator. Increase the horns. Giving it ear tufts. Very fluffy. Yes, Renamon 565. It's very fluffy. They went more to the direction of a Magic Girl, and I can almost see this becoming Lovely Angelwomon, although I think that's still Gatomon. Things about the design I like. I like that we've gone further with the horns, as well as really adding detail to the ears. It's a very fluffy Digimon. Things I don't like. I think the fluff... I know, part of the design, it's very fluffy. I think the fluffy element is a bit much, if I'm going to be honest. And I'm not sold on the ear ring. I would almost say try to go more towards Magic Girl, and it's almost there, but I don't think they go enough. I think the fluffy element, I know it's supposed to be like a dandelion. It's supposed to be flying around all airy, but I don't know if that was the right direction. I like the gradient between the pink and the brown. I like the pseudo camo of the pink and the brown. But other than that, you know, it's Lotmon. So I like that they're trying the Magic Girl aesthetic. And, you know, for an X antibody, I don't know. I think they're adding way too much from a design element. For those who don't know, X antibodies have a tendency to add a lot of design just to something, and it can overcomplicate it. This is pleasing to the eyes, but I still think they added a bit much. I think the puffs are a bit much and would omit it. And while I understand the story reason for the earring, I don't think it really should have been added. So yeah, what I like, Magic Girl aesthetic. What I don't like, I don't think they went far enough, and I don't think the puffs were really necessary. So 20 seconds. Yeah, I realize that's a rather quick one, but I did spend 10 minutes out of it, and that was not good. So, Lucemon. Lucemon is an angel Digimon resembling a child said to have descended from on high long ago in the ancient digital world. It appeared in a time of chaos and is said to have ushered in a new era of peace and order. However, due to Lucemon's subsequent rebellion, the world was then plunged into a long dark age. Despite having the appearance of a child, Lucemon is wiser and more powerful than an ultimate Digimon. It is said that in the modern era, Lucemon's abilities have been passed down to and divided amongst the three Celestials. Lucemon's special move is Ground Cross, which involves firing a collection of 10 superheated spheres of light arranged in the sphere of a cross as if they were planets in alignment. This attack is even more destructive than Seraphimon's special move, Strike of the Seven Stars. Huh. So, Lucemon, let's be real. For those who don't know, Lucemon is based off of Lucifer. That is the design mechanic they're going here. And they went with a very literal interpretation of that. Little tiny angel things similar to, say, Pit from Icarus. Icarus Rising. I forgot what that name's called. I never played that game. Kid Icarus. I never really played Kid Icarus, so other than Smash Brothers. The design is very bright, which I'm not going to complain because that actually fits the design, that fits background. As much as I want to complain that they basically made a little kid, I also realize that making a biblically accurate angel is a bit of a problem because, let's be real here, a biblically accurate angel is a bunch of eyes and wings and terrors beyond which mankind can comprehend. So, they had a difficult time. I think they had a difficult thing they had to deal with, which is, we have to make an angel. It has to be Lucifer, but it has to be pre-fall Lucifer. And on one hand, they nailed it with the shininess, the brightness, although that might be by computer, although even looking on my screen, it's still very bright. And, the purity of the design. Where I think they messed up, I can't say too many wings because that fits Lucy. Androgynous fits the design. So I like that they hit the description well, and it's bright. What I don't like is... No, Lucemon could not beat Lucifer from DC Comics. I don't even know who Lucifer from DC Comics is, and already I know that's a no. Yeah, I'm just gonna say no. I think what I dislike about the design is it's basically human. It's basically a human angel, and as a rookie, this really doesn't work. I can understand like a higher level Digimon, to kind of confuse people going that, oh hey, this is not a powerful Digimon. This is just a weakling, and then learning, oh yeah, no, it's an ultimate. But as a rookie, this doesn't really work. I know in recent shows, Lucemon tends to appear as a manipulator, which fits in line. But other than that, I like the concept and I like the execution, but I think they're going a bit too much for a rookie. I think as a champ, as say an Ultimate or Mega, I think those are the same though, this would work, but as a rookie, no. So what I'll say is, I like that they understood, well, he basically killed 8 of the 10 legendary warriors. That is true. That is true. But, you say that, this really isn't a rookie. This isn't a rookie. Oh, you're referring to the DC Comics. Are you referring to this? But yeah, as a rookie, this doesn't work. As an Ultimate Omega, it works. And like I said, they understood the assignment. But as a rookie, this doesn't work. And so I'm going to have to ding it on the rookie, on this being a rookie. Because this is not a rookie. This is like a mega at the least. So I like the execution. I like the concept. I don't like that this is a rookie. And I think I would have made this a simpler angel. But yeah, that's my take on it. I guess we'll go for the 20 seconds. And yeah, not much to really say there. So many. Yeah, so if I remember correctly, Lucifer before he fell was one of the Seraphim or the Nephilim. No, not Nephilim, that's something different. He was one of the high level angels, and the more wings an angel has, the higher level they are. So it makes sense from a design standpoint. Ludomon. Ludomon is one of the legend arms that can transform its body into a weapon. Ludomon is the only Digimon among the legend arms who transforms into a shield. Tough iron shields don its head and arms, enable it to protect itself against attacks from any direction. As a Digimon focused on defense, records show incidents of Ludomons protecting characters targeted by the D Brigade. With the special move Wall Rake, it wields the titular devices on its arms for both offense and defense. Moreover, Ludomon demonstrates the full potential of its defenses while in shield form. So, things about the design. Oh, one quick thing people don't realize. Ludomon actually looks like a fairly basic bear underneath all that armor. I'm actually going to get the design up real quick, just so that you know what they look like. So, for those who don't know, this is apparently what Ludomon looks like according to Watanabe Kanji, if I'm reading that correctly. This appeared on the Twitter. Now, I don't know if that's canon. Thing about design, things like that, is that can just be artist interpretation. But Watanabe Kenji, and there's at least two, so it probably is canon. But you never know. So things about the design. You can still see the bear aesthetic, what with the arms, what with the claws, I mean to say. So they still went, this is a bear. And what I like about it is it reminds me of a World War I Tommy. Especially with the Brody helmet. Although I know that that's supposed to be a reference to a shield. I like the heavy armor as it gives it a sort of like blast EOD protection. Things I don't like. I think what I don't like about Ludomon's design is they've added in a lot of little details. Maybe a bit more than what's on a rookie. And the reason I say that is we've got a bunch of art things on the armor, which grabs attention. We have things on the helmet that grab attention. It's really hard to see what Ludomon is supposed to look like, because for a while I thought this is an insect. No, it's a bear. But it's really hard to read a bear. And I would almost say maybe remove some of the graffiti and add in like ear funnels for the armor. Because make this read a little bit more like a bear. I like that it's armored, and I like that that this is all armored up. I don't like that they added all this little graffiti things that clutter up the design. I'll say this: military personnel like to add graffiti things to their equipment, but you know, at some point you kind of have to rein it in what you want to add, and I think they added in too much graffiti, too much morale stuff. So I like that it's an armored up Digimon. I don't like that they added in all this. I think they added in too much decorative element, and I would have added in, say, some sort of ear thing, even if it's just some slight ear things pushing forward that's barely denting through the armor, or say maybe even like a morale thing that indicates ears. As is, I think the design is a good concept, but I think they need to rein in some of what they're doing here. It's a little too cluttered. So, I like the armor. I think it's a little too cluttered. And they should have done a little more to make it read bare. 20 seconds. So, yay to Ludumon. What a ye. Lunamon. A mammal Digimon resembling a rabbit, born from the fusion of immune observation data. Its large ears can recognize sounds from any distance. Although timid, it often gets lonely and easily grows attached to others. It uses its special move, Luna Claw, to scratch with claws that seem cute, but which are imbued with dark power. With Tearing Shot, it concentrates power into the antennae on its forehead to shoot a beautiful orb of water at the enemy. What? It also uses its move, Lop Ear Ripple, to twist its ears, enveloping the enemies in a vortex of bubbles. So, for those who don't know, in a lot of Asian cultures, and I think a few Native American in Europe, mostly Asian, they have the concept of the moon rabbit. For those who don't know, a lot of people, when they look at the moon, they'll see what's a rabbit. In like the U.S. and other countries, they sometimes see a old man. It varies. And this is a very easy concept. For those who don't know, Sailor Moon is based off of that concept. Usagi means rabbit. Someone could better explain it. I didn't realize that part of Lunamon's design was water, but that makes sense. The moon does influence water. The mayor on the moon. Ah, yes, My Little Pony. But I believe she first appeared in Digimon World DS, but I could be wrong. The World Series gets weird at some point. I do believe it was one of the games Jaden played, although I could be wrong. Things about the design. One other quick tidbit before we go towards critiquing. Lunamon. This was not Lunamon's. The name Lunamon was originally going to be another Digimon. For those who don't know, Renamon was originally supposed to be Lunamon. That was her name. It's in some of the early scripts and drafts. But it was changed to Renamon because Rena Fox. So it's interesting that they reused the name. Although to be fair, it's actually pretty easy. Moon, Mon. Things about the design. So on one hand, I like that they're really going into the moon. You've got the crescent moon up here, which looks like a reference to Sailor Moon. You've got crescents here. You've got a moon on the chest. You've got reference to water, which now thinking on it makes sense. The moon moves water tides. You have a semi Magic Girl appearance, what with the dress, although I don't think that was intentional, except maybe the ribbons. What I don't like about the design is it really doesn't read rabbit. And the reason I say that, it's one thing if you had just two antennae, or the antenna going up or the antenna going down. But having both of them makes Lunamon read more like an insect. And in fact, just looking at her, my immediate thought is, this is not a moon rabbit. This is Tiki from Miraculous Ladybug. This doesn't read rabbit. This reads insect. And now I know Tiki is based off, takes a lot of Miraculous Ladybug takes a lot of influence from anime, so it wouldn't surprise me if Thomas Struck used Lunamon as some inspiration. But as a moon rabbit, I think they could have done a better job of saying which one are the ears, because I get the reference, but this doesn't, compared to Lopmon and even Terriermon, this really doesn't read rabbit. So I think what I would have done with this design is omit one pair of ears. It's okay if, say, you omit this ear and have one down, one up. That's fine. Where I think they could have done better is, I think that's the main change. Other than that, I'm okay with the dress kind of design. I'm okay with the ribbons. That kind of gives a Sailor Moon aesthetic. It's just the ears that I would change. So, things I like the moon aesthetic. I like the Sailor Moon reference. I like the pseudo Magic Girl reference. I don't like that this really doesn't read rabbit, especially for a lunar rabbit. And there's a later design that I will continue with that. Keep that in mind if we get to the Ultimates, because there's another Digimon I want to comment about that. So, 20 seconds. And that we go. Luxmon. A small-bodied, childlike angel Digimon that belongs to the lowest rank of angels. Luxmon's innocent nature prevents it from being able to discern truth from lies, which may explain why it's often the target of Impmon and Devimon's teasing. Though not especially powerful in its rookie form, a group of Luxmon working as a team during battle display a great strength that enables them to take on opponents obscenely beyond them. In one of its special moves, a punching technique called Tiny Knuckle, Luxmon performs its finest imitation of Angemon, whom it admires very much. Cloudberry involves the development of a circular shield of light. Several Luxmon can utilize this move at once to increase its defensive power by multitudes. So, this is compared to Lucemon. This, I would have much preferred if that was the direction. This is what I expect from a rookie Lucemon. A small angel thing. I like that you can see the influence of Angemon, what with the onesie and it looks like baby Lucemon, baby Angemon, which makes me wonder if maybe they should do a childish Angewomon, but maybe that's what this is. Maybe that's one direction. But so I like that it looks like childish Angemon. I guess what I don't like about the design, it's basically a human. I mean, it fits a rookie, and it fits what I would say a rookie Lucemon would have looked like. But I'm almost wondering if I think they're leaning a little bit much into the human aesthetic. I think maybe omitting the... No, actually, I wouldn't say that. Uh, what would I change? I think what I would change is maybe make one of Luxmon's gloves purple and the other one blue, just so they're a little different. But as is, I don't know. Luxmon, I'm not going to give it the perfect. I like that Luxmon looks like a rookie angel, but I don't know if they did enough to make this look like a rookie. It's the human design. It's the fact that this just looks like a human child in a suit. So yeah, that's where I go with this. Looks like I like that it looks like a rookie angel. I don't like that it looks too human. So 20 seconds. And we're going to keep going. How far have we gone into this? An hour. Okay. I want to get as far as I can so that we can get to Renamon as soon as possible. I don't think we're going to get to Renamon this session, but for next session, I want this to be prepared. Mini Dekachimon. A rookie Digimon so small it is mistaken for an in-training one. Mini Dekachimon is no good at fighting, but it has a big attitude. It tends to throw its weight around using Kokon to make use of its small stature, jumping in close to infuriate the opponent and exhaust their stamina. Still, it is protected by Atamate-Kachimon's mouth, giving it peace of mind no matter what pandemonium occurs. Mini Dekachimon cooperates with Atamate. I'm trying to learn Japanese, by the way. By using Mini Deca Flame to spit fire from its mouth, but there's no way to tell if the flame will be big or small. Okay, so we basically have a Dragon Quest dragon. I appreciate that they made a little tiny dragon toy, but it looks very basic. One hand looks like a rookie. On the other hand, I'm getting Mew. Now I see why it's a problem. It looks like Mew is wearing a dragon head, a dinosaur head. And so going off of from the thing I don't like about the design, I think it's the oversimplicity. I think if these actually looked like claws and not just Mew cosplaying, I think the design would work a little better. The tail is another issue I have. I think this should have been a more tapered off tail that's more reptilian, especially since this is a dragon. The head reads more... It doesn't read dragon. It reads more like Pac-Man character. Like, this is player 2 of Pac-Man, because Namco keeps being... because Capcom keeps being weird with Miss Pac-Man. And they don't want to, for one reason, keep her. They don't want to use her. So, I like that they made a dragon-esque design. The problem is this doesn't feel like they've done enough, because you've got the head right, but everything else just reads, we stole Mew from Pokemon and we wanted to make them a Digimon. It also doesn't help the design is very forgettable because there's really nothing here that screams Digimon. This just feels like a Puyo Puyo character or a Pac-Man character. It doesn't really scream Digimon, especially compared to the likes of, say, Agumon or Dorumon or Logomon. This feels like it's a cameo appearance and then moves on. So, I like that they went with a more traditional dragon design. I don't like that they didn't do enough. It just feels like Mew wearing a hat, wearing a dragon head. So, and I would have made this read more like a reptile. So, thoughts? 20 seconds? Madoki Betamon. Madoki Betamon is an amphibian Digimon much like Betamon. Despite being nearly identical to Betamon in appearance, though, Madoki Betamon is actually an extremely rare Digimon with a small population. It has a gentle dispensation and generally inhabits quiet wetlands where it skillfully manipulates the water currents. Its special moves include Aqua Tower, where it generates a small whirlpool, and Blade Fin, which involves firing a shockwave from its crest on its head. It's Betamon that's a recolor. And I'm not a big fan of recolors. I understand you're trying to make a unique Betamon, but this is just a recolor. So, and really not even a good recolor because the color is just not there. Like, let's compare this to Betamon. Like, let's compare the two. If my computer would help. Like, look at this design. This is this really what we want? Is this really a why was Modeki Betamon given a what is going computer, what are you doing? Let's just do this. Why, this is the basic Betamon. Why does this warrant a design? Well, why does this warrant a place on the deck, the thing? Oh, it's a different color. Okay, so it's lime green. That's all you did. You didn't even try. You didn't add any symbols to it. You didn't really change the color. No. I like that it's Betamon, but you didn't. This isn't a design. This is just no. And we're not even going to give it 20 seconds. I'm not giving this 20 seconds because that's not like I've seen recolors. That is lazy, and I'm sorry. That's not a design. That's not why does this get in here? Okay. Monotamon. Rookie X Cross Wars. A ninja Digimon that enjoys Digimon watching, and it's always observing someone. While Monotamon insists on calling itself a ninja, its actions are more like those of a stalker. If you spot one in an area, it's safe to assume that there are 30 more around. It wields in a real array of ninjutsu techniques. I bit weak once. The fireball, fire shot, the water pistol, water dragon, the wind-blowing wind wheel, and the discharging lightning flash. Monetamon's strength lies not in its battle prowess, but its information-sharing ability. It can use this to record and share any information it has gathered with other Monetamon, spreading whatever it sees far and wide, be it good, bad, or downright embarrassing. Okay, so we have a ninja. So I just want to say that the design that they have for Monetamon almost reminds me of Stalkers from Call of Pripyat, from Stalker, Call of Pripyat in the Stalker series, just because it has that gas mask and tactical gear. But I know that's not a reference. They're not referencing that. They're referencing ninjas. And by all account, this is a very straightforward design of a ninja. What with the ninja gi and the chainmail. I like that they went very simple with the ninja aesthetic. I know about the television thing. It kind of reminds me of a character from Reboot. So that's fine. Where I was about to say, what they could have done is just put the camera heads from Skibidi Toilet. Let's be real here. Digimon would do that. They would say, Monetamon becomes camera head Mon. But type, CRT. For those who don't know, CRTs were a type of television. They're now popular amongst classic gamers because high refresh rate. So I'm glad that they referenced that type of technology. Where I think they may have gone a bit wrong, bit much. Where I think they went a bit much is I would have almost added a ninja headband similar to like Naruto on top. Just because the monitor, the television just kind of draws your eyes, and I get it. It's supposed to look like a television on a head, on a body. And I feel that's going a bit much. I think they needed to do something to break up the body and read, "This is a ninja." Ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. Hay fever. Something's coming up with me. I like that it looks like a ninja, but I think they needed to do something to make the head look like a ninja. Other than that, it's an okay design, but I think they could have done a little more to make ninja. So, like that it looks like a ninja. Don't like that they didn't really do anything to doll up the CRT. So, 20 seconds. So, gone through Monetamon. I've actually gone too far. Mon, the goat. I'll explain that later. A beast Digimon with the appearance of a baby monkey, Mon is strong enough to wield a slingshot the size of its body with ease, and confident enough to not let any prey it targets escapes. Its movements are fast, but its careless nature means it falls out of trees quite a bit. Its tiger print clothes and white tail tip are very chic indeed. It uses its signature move, Mischievous Hoop, to catch the opponent's feet with a hoop, causing them to take a tumble. Its special move, Baby Sling, is a precise ranged strike, boosting infallible accuracy. So, if I'm correct, Mon first made their appearance in Digimon World 3 as one of the partners you can select. Other than that, I don't think Mon makes that many appearances in the anime, which is incredibly weird because it's present in World 3, which makes me wonder they wanted it to be a main character, but then went, whatever. Yeah, we're going to stick to the tried and true. I don't know if Monmon can become Makuramon. Hold on. Okay, World 3 has them become... Ape Escape. That is true. I forgot about Ape Escape. I didn't really grow up with the PlayStation 2. I grew up with the PlayStation. I grew up with the Dreamcast. So, kind of, I can see the slight reference to Ape Escape. But, that being said, I think this is going more towards Makuramon. Because by this point, I think Makuramon had appeared in Tamers. So, between the face, it reads... I can see that direction. In recent years, Monmon became something of a meme amongst the Digidestiny from Schmuck Squad, where basically it was, oh, Monmon is incredibly powerful, and Monmon never speaks. Oh, he's spoken, we've just never heard it. Things about Monmon's design that I like. I like how easy it's to read that this is Jungle Monkey. That makes no sense. It looks very jungle, very Tarzan, very wild. The slingshot is an interesting touch, which it kind of needs because range. Otherwise, it's just monkey. Things I don't like. Things I like. They went with the jungle aesthetic. They went with adding the tiger print, adding the... It's a monkey. Adding the slingshot. Where I think they may have went a bit much. I think it's the eyes, because they stare into your soul, and that kind of freaks me out. I don't like that. But that's just because it adds to the whole creepiness factor. And I say that because and I'm not going to comment about the feet because monkey. You know, people can say, "Oh, feet." No, it's a monkey. That's yeah. I really don't have much to complain about the design, and I'm going to give Monmon the perfect because they understood the concept. We wanted to make Tarzan. We wanted to make an ape. And they added it. They did a great job. Even the eyes staring into your soul isn't too bad. My only complaint is that they don't do more with the character. Because they don't appear in the anime that often. It's no one's partner as far as I can tell. This is a perfect design. One of the perfects. And I just wish they did more with it. So, yeah. I'm going to say I like that they understood the concept. They made a monkey. They made it Tarzan-esque. And, they made it look like a wild thing. And the only thing I don't like is the eyes. But that's really not much of anything. So it gets the perfect. So, yeah, 20 seconds. So, yeah, that's Monmon. Monodramon. Be quiet, phone. A mini dragon Digimon that cannot fly despite the bat-like wings on both arms. Monodramon has a pretty rough personality for a vaccine type, veering close to brutality and giving the impression of a Digimon who enjoys a good fight. It ends up in the midst of most brawls in the digital world, causing even Ogremon to get fed up with its persistence. Rumor has it that the backwards growing horn on is Monodramon's weak point, but this hasn't been confirmed. Its signature move, Crack Bite, fragments the data in its jaws, causing the enemy to collapse and malfunction depending on where they're bitten. Its special move, Knuckle Beater, is a simple yet bold strike whereby it charges with staggering force before slashing the enemy with its powerful claws. So, we have a fairly basic dragon. It's not the early Digimon. I think it appeared after 02 because of Rio. And Rio is weird. For those who don't know, for those that live in the US, Rio is a character that appeared in Digimon Tamers. And he just kind of appears randomly. Like, they hype him up as being this very important person. They're not saying where he first appeared from. That's interesting. Rio, so Monodramon is Rio's partner, and that's mostly what Monodramon is known for. The problem with that is it means Monodramon really doesn't get that many appearances because Rio doesn't appear that often. For those who don't know, Rio was the main character of the Wonder Swan games, which means they never came to the US. Rio has appeared in earlier Digimon material. He appeared in the movie as a random character, as a cameo, and he appears in 02 as another cameo. But in recent years, Rio has kind of he's associated more with Tamers than anything, and I think he's pretty much been dropped as an important character. The problem with that is it means a character like a Digimon like Monodramon doesn't appear that often. Which is sad because Monodramon is a decent design. It's a simple dragon, as we can see. It's got drill hands. We've got fairly basic horns. We've got wings. Really, this, Monodramon looks like a fairly decent dragon design. It's different from the Velociraptor T-Rex dragons that we see a lot in Digimon. And I think that's a good thing. Things I like that it's a different style of dragon. It's not just, here's a Velociraptor that we added wings. They went more towards a bat aesthetic, with the wings coming from the arms. Things I don't like, I think the drill claws are a bit much, and I think just standard claws would be okay. I also think the snaggletooth nose is a bit much. I think just having a more flat face would work better than the nose. But that's just me. So, also this red here on the chest is a bit weird, and I don't like it. I guess it reads like a scarf, but it's a weird design element. So things I like that it's a different type of dragon. I don't like the claws. So, I'm not going to give it the perfect, mainly because as much as I like that it's a different type of dragon, we still have elements like this red right here, and I'm going to say it right now, I think there's some overcomplication with the horns. I understand the armor because that's reference to its next form, Cyberdramon, although I think Monodramon appears as a different Digimon after that. Strike-Dramon. Okay, so they're following the design. But other than that, it's an okay design, if maybe a little overcomplicated. So, 20 seconds. yep, 20 seconds. Morphomon, named after the Morpho butterfly. Digimon with hands and ears composed of butterfly wings, Morphomon has a laid-back personality and feels enjoyment towards nature. When it meets someone for the first time, it touches them to determine whether they're safe or not. If they are, if it takes a liking to them, Morphomon will go with them. When Morphomon's ear wings flap vigorously, this is apparently a sign of it being in a great mood. It uses intense therapy to scatter scales from its wings with varying effects depending on the opponent, soothing mind and body or paralyzing the target. Okay. So, butterfly, Morpho. Right from the get-go, you can see why I said Lunamon looked like an insect, because we have that similar ears down, ears up thing that Lunamon had. Here, at the very least, they're being like, it's an insect. It's actually an insect, and I like that. And actually paying attention to the design, what's that Toho character's name? Reimu Hakurai. Weirdly, and I'm going to say this now, this kind of reminds me of her, with the big bow in the back and the sleeves that are a bit oversized. I like, I said Lunamon looked like a magic girl. Morphomon, for as simple as it looks, actually looks very much like a magic girl, or at the very least maiden-like, almost like a shrine maiden. And I'm almost suggesting if maybe these would be red, but then I realize therapy and blue, so you need a cool color. So I have to say I like this design and I like the concept. It's certainly better than Lunamon in my opinion. Now, where I would probably change this, I don't like that the legs are just kind of out, especially since you have the wings coming out like long sleeves and the big bow in the back. I would almost maybe make this look like a dress, more akin to, say, a dress covering this. So you get more of that magic girl or shrine maiden appearance. But other than that, this is a very well thought design. I like the way how the wings on the hands and the head really look like cloth, like a dress. And I don't like that they don't continue it and just go feet nubs. It actually reminds me a lot of Terriermon. And as much as Terriermon is a good design, I think these nublets should have been covered. And go for a more Shrine Maiden-esque design. But other than that, I'm going to give Morphomon the perfect, because this is a very good design. We're going to give this the perfect. So, 20 seconds. Yeah, that phone call ruined this. And it always happens. Something always happens on stream that messes things up. Come on, we gotta make ground so that if we don't make it this session, then next session we go to Renamon. So, Mukomon. A flightless bird Digimon like Penmon. Raised in a tropical southern land, Mukomon lives in a life of constant cheer. It overflows with passion, dances to a samba beat, and loves its vivid, richly covered pelt. It uses a special move, Tropical Break, to peck the opponent with its colorful beak. So, on one hand, it's a recolor. It's a recolor of Penmon. On the other hand, they acknowledge that this is a more colorful design. And just looking at Penmon, I think they should have gone more towards the samba or the carnival aesthetic. Maybe add like a peacock or some kind of uh, crest on top. Really make this look different than Penmon. But I do like the colors. It reads parrot or flightless bird. The only issue is it still looks like Penmon, and knowing that Penmon exists kind of ruins this design. So on one hand, I like the colors. On the other hand, it's a recolor, and I think they could have done more to change the design. I like the concept, but, we've got Mukomon and then Penmon, and they didn't really do much to change other than color. So, I like the color, I like the concept, I don't like that it's just a recolor. So, 20 seconds. If it seems like I'm going fast, you have to understand recolors I'm not a big fan of because they just kind of take up the reference manual. And I feel that kind of pulls from what could be actual designs. So, Mushroomon. A small vegetarian Digimon in the shape of a poisonous mushroom. Small but poisonous mushroom bombs growing from Mushroomon's body cause all kinds of afflictions. Anyone hit by one of these bombs could start laughing uncontrollably, have their body go numb, lose their memories, and more. Mushroomon is extremely ill-tempered and loves to pick on the weak, but also has a shy side, always hiding half its face. Its special move, Fungus Crusher, scatters a spread of mini mushroom bombs. Yeah, hiding half its face. Yeah, right. So, things about the design. I like that it's a mushroom. They went Mushroom Man, and that's all they did. But then they added little poisonous nodules, like on its arms and on its feet. So it's not just, it's a mushroom. We've got some early design characteristics which had a tendency to add some extra greeble, like the cross skull and bones. That being said, I think what I would have changed is the head. And the reason I say that is the fantasy mushroom everyone says mushrooms have, it's red and white, and those are notoriously poisonous. Now, I know why they did this. They wanted to indicate this is poisonous, and you do that with purple. But I feel they would have done better if it was the red mushroom with white. And let me get that up, the name of that real quick. So the Amanita muscaria, of which there's apparently other versions. Okay then. So, I understand you need to make a poisonous mushroom, but I think it would have been better if they went with the poisonous mushroom. This. If they had made it this color, I think it would have fit the design better. As is, I like that it's a mushroom and they added fungal growths on it, but I think they have the wrong mushroom. This should have been red and white. So, I don't like that they didn't do the red-white mushroom. So, 20 seconds. So, we're getting through these. Nemon. Okay, a beast Digimon with a careful personality and a penchant for causing trouble. Though Nemon spends most of its time staring off at nothing with its half-closed eyes, it is quick to run away at the first sight of danger. Pokemon has little patience for Nemon's laziness, and so Nemon often suffers the wrath of Pokemon's rubber snap. Although Neemon knows more than might be expected from its looks, very little of its knowledge is actually useful. It is extremely fond of its close-knit fitted trousers, and wears them at all times. Neemon's signature move is Escape Dash. Its special move is Play Possum, by which it pretends to fall asleep to get out of a difficult situation. He was so gross in Rumble Arena 2. Yeah, so for those who don't know, in Rumble Arena 2, as part of a means to promote Digimon Frontier, Neemon was one of the playable characters. This is unique because Neemon doesn't do any fighting in Digimon Frontier. And Neemon is doing all these fart attacks and the like, which as far as I can tell is not referenced in its special moves. Neemon plays the... So, Neemon and Bokumon are referenced to Japanese manze. You have the straight guy and the wise guy. And in this case, it sounds like Bokumon is supposed to be the straight guy and Neemon is supposed to be the wise guy. Or at least the guy that's acting like a fool. It's a very... which kind of works. I like Neemon is a very simple and basic design. You know, just little tiny rabbit guy wearing pants. You've seen it before. Little tiny rabbit guy wearing sweatpants. And I can understand. I like being comfy too. So it's a very basic design, and I can see this sitting as like a wood carving or as like a little toy. I think what I don't like about the design is maybe, you know, I say it's simple and I appreciate that. I think they could have added something. Like, Bokumon looks like a middle-aged Japanese man. Which, you know, it's simple, but it fits. Neemon just kind of looks like your cousin who still in college after 6 years and is wearing sweatpants. And I think they could have added something. Maybe like, say, a Naruto headband. You know, to indicate, hey, they're still in school, but are they really trying? Or maybe, I don't, you know, something to indicate that he's tired and is always tired and maybe not the most intellectual. No, not that. He's always tired. He's always lazy. He's smart, and he could be smart if he tried it, but otherwise, fun little design, simple design, maybe add something. So I like that it's simple, it's basic. I don't like that they didn't go far enough. It's maybe too basic. I like that it's simple. I don't like that it's too simple, if that makes any sense. They needed something to indicate, hey, this is, I don't know. But yeah, neat little design. So, I'm not going to give it the perfect because I think it's too simple for that. You kind of need to add a little bit more to a design. So if you're making Digimon, simple helps, but sometimes you need to add something. So we're going to give it the 20 seconds. And that was Neemon. And we are going to power through because I want to get to Renamon. We have so many to go through. Otamamon. A larva Digimon whose epidermis has yet to solidify due to living underwater. Otamamon swims through swamps and rivers upstream of the net ocean with its large tail, occasionally clambering onto rocks with its developed forelimbs to do vocal exercises. Unlike those of an average organism, its hind limbs are almost completely undeveloped, acting as rudders in place of its propulsive tail. This Digimon is valuable due to the fact that its future Digivolution is clearly indicated for a rookie, but it is extremely prone to mutation, so caution is warranted with raising it. Atamamon uses its special move Lullaby Bubble to send opponents into an eternal slumber. So I'm going to do a quick thing, because I know there is a type of instrument, the automaton. Ribbon. Okay, so now I see what they're doing. So I was thinking maybe this was based off of that instrument, an automaton, or the automaton is based off of this. No, it just means tadpole. And to be fair, did an amazing job, and I can see the reference. I can see where they're going with. They did an amazing job making this a tadpole. They added in the singing, which I don't think that instrument existed when this first appeared. If it did, that is an interesting coincidence. I like the concept that you took a fraud tadpole and it sings. And they definitely explained why it has big arms, because, hey, it's having to pull itself on rocks to practice. Where I think they may have went a bit too far, it would be the tail. I know why they added, because tadpoles have that tail. I'm thinking maybe not have the fishbone things in the tail. Just have the simple paddle. That's it. But really, other than that, it's a good design. I like the concept. I like that they explain things. The feet are a bit meh, but I understand why. I'm going to give Atomamon the perfect. Just because it fits. They understood the concept and they executed it perfectly. The only thing, I like that it's a tadpole and they explain features of it. I don't like the tail. I think the bone in the fin is a bit much. So, yeah, I like the concept. Don't like the fishtail, but it's perfect. We're giving it the 20 seconds. Atomamon Red. An Atomamon mutation that acquired the attribute of flames. This attribute is the reason why Atomamon Red prefers hot springs instead of cold rivers. Like Atomamon, it loves to sing and it never skips out on vocal training. It's developed forelimbs strong enough, blah, 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 blah. Atomamon Red uses its special move Boiling Bubble to spit bubble hot enough to scald. So, it's a recolor. And I don't think this is really necessary for a part in the manual. I appreciate that they're trying to add more and they explain, it's boiling, so it's red, but I don't think this is necessary for the manual. If it had just been, this is a variant of Atomamon, and but it's not its own thing, that's fine. This, I think, was an unnecessary change. So, it's a recolor. I don't like that. Neat color, but did we really need a red Atomamon? I'm not really going to give this the 20 seconds because it's a recolor and honestly a fairly basic one. I mean, if you like Atomamon Red, more to ya, but it's a recolor of Atomamon. And now we have an X antibody. So, Atomamon's body has grown even bigger while its vocals have grown louder, and the effect of Lullaby Bubble is even stronger than before. A certain mutant mega Digimon saw future prospects in its round body, bestowing the gorgeous crown known as Prince's Hand-Me-Down. This stately appearance makes foes hesitant to attack. Said Digimon also taught Atomamon, X antibody, its signature move, Smiley Headbutt, which it uses to headbutt an enemy with a smile on its face. The move is weak, however, and the face still cramps up. So, they changed Tamamon's design. It's still simple. They basically made him a big boy. Big boy. Big boy. They added a little crown, which bit unnecessary, but okay, you need the Burger King crown. I like the tail. They omitted the fish bone, which is I think was a good thing to do. I think what I would have done different is maybe add some musculature, because it's doing a lot of breathing. And I think it would have worked to add some kind of pectoral things, even if it's just like it's sprayed on. The other thing, I don't like that they omitted the small legs. I think it would have helped to add, the little nublets, just to be like, it's Mr. Creosote. It just waddles around. But other than that, it's a fun little balloon. I don't know if the crown was necessary, but it adds to the cuteness of it. And I'm actually going to give a Tamamon X Antibody the perfect, because it does quite a lot of things right. The only thing I don't like is it doesn't have its legs, and I would have added those. So, yeah. 20 seconds. And now we're going to go to the next Digimon. We're racing through these things. We are going to get to Renamon. It will be a chase, but I think we'll do it. I think we can make it. Palmon. Vegetarian Digimon with a tropical flower growing on its head. Though it digivolved from Tanamon in a reptilian fashion, it's a rare type of Digimon classified as a vegetation Digimon based on its appearance and characteristics. During the day, Palmon opens its flower and leaf-like appendages to enable photosynthesis. Its root-like feet are usually buried in the ground, absorbing nutrients, but it can also use them to walk. The flower on Palmon's head gives off a sweet scent when it's happy or enjoying itself, and a foul stench when it's angry or feels threatened. The latter is so bad it can send even larger Digimon running. Palmon's special move is Poison Ivy, by which it wraps its foe in ivy laced with strong poison. Anything hit by this attack is paralyzed. So, we have another one of the early Digimon. I think Palmon was one of the first. She at the very least appeared in Adventure. As for the V-Pet, I think she was one of the early. If not, she was in the second wave. So, I like that seeing the description now, it's a reptile, but it's also grass. I think that was a complaint I had with its recolor, which I forgot her name. Other than that, I like that they went with the plant aesthetic, and knowing now it's based from a reptile, I appreciate now that it has the tail and the spikes on the back, as well as the hands. It kind of looks like a plant Agumon, but it's not an Agumon. And the foliage on its hair gives it almost like, the pineapple haircut that Rika has. Things I would change. I think I would try to use the flowers to make it almost like twin tails, or say more like a stylized hair. But other than that, it's a good design, and I'm going to give it the perfect, because they fit they understood the exam. They understood what they were going with here with the description. Reptile, plant, and it's a plant, and it's one of the OGs. That being said, I still like Floramon more. I think I prefer Floramon more as a plant Digimon. But Palmon is a good direction to take things. So, 20 seconds. And so, we'll move on. Palmon X antibody. The charming tropical flower on its head is bloomed even further, and its color and aroma now convey Palmon X antibody's emotions to a striking degree. When angered, its petals turn red and emit a poisonous smell. When it's sad, its petals turn turquoise and release a refreshing scent that suppresses the enemy's will to fight. When happy, its petals turn yellow and give off a bouquet that traps surrounding Digimon in illusions that divorce them from reality altogether. Ooh. The essence of these scents are blended within Palmon X antibody to create RGB herb. Hear that, Linus Tech Tips? Digimon scratched by the claws of its arms are thrown into a temporary confusion by the poison synthesized within. So, they went more towards 80s disco. And I say that because you got the big flower on its head and you're going more towards an afro look. The reason I say 80s disco is the medallion. As far as I can tell, it's not explained why it has a medallion. It's just medallion. What I don't, and the cape behind it, and just this feels. I liked the early Palmon. I liked the Palmon because it looked, understanding it's a reptile that became a plant. I like that. This just reads, we wanted disco. And we got disco. And, disco's fine. Disco's a good sound, usually. But I think they overcomplicated it and they went too far into the disco. And they went too far into its blooming. If I were to have done this, I think I would have omitted the cape. And I would have kept the reptile aesthetic, but make the plant. But as well as for this design, keep the flowering plant. Just omit the excess stuff. We don't need the sun collar. We don't need the cape. We don't need the disco medallion. We just need. I think the head was more than enough. I will say what I do like is the flower reads more like hair. And the petals underneath really do feel like hair. But other than that, I like that hair aesthetic. I don't like that this just looks like Disco Steve. So, Disco Drew. As for the RGB, maybe add some RGB lighting to the claws. I know this predates that being a big thing in computers, but come on. Seems perfect. So we're gonna give it so I like the head looks like it has hair. I don't like it looks like disco. So 20 seconds. Patamon. A mammal Digimon known for its large ears, Patamon can use these to fly, but since it can only do so at a little over 0.5 miles per hour, its walking speed is said to be considerably faster. Even so, watching it struggle to fly is an endearing sight, making it very popular, although Patamon itself doesn't appreciate this. Patamon is extremely obedient and very good about doing what it's told. It can also use its hidden power without a holy ring, a sign that it's descended from an ancient species of Digimon. Patamon has two special attacks, Air Shot, by which it takes a deep breath and then releases a powerful blast of air, and Wing Slap, by which it attacks its foes with its two large ears. So, here we have Patamon, the flying pig. I guess I like that they went with the bat wings instead of just standard wings. That's good. I like that. I like that they went, I say it's a pig. I like that it looks like a little hamster with the coloring and everything. Interestingly enough, this color gradient actually looks like camouflage. You have the top where if you look down, you would probably see dirt. And looking from up, you would just see a white cloud moving. So they thought the design through. I appreciate, I say, that being said, I don't think it's ever been stated what Patamon is supposed to look like. I say flying pig, but that's only because, flying thing. It's an early Digimon. I don't think it was one of the first. I think it was one of the series 2. It appeared in Adventure, but it's it's a basic design, a very simple design. I like the wings, that they went with bat wings, and I like the coloring. What I don't like is they're very nondescript as to what type of animal Patamon is taking influence from. It's a good design. I like it. It's a bit muddled. That being said, I will give Patamon the perfect. This is kind of what you want to shoot for when it comes to a Digimon design. Unique with, taking in different influences like the wings, and being unique with coloring. It's simple but complex enough. It's simple, but you still have some complexities, what with pattern and everything. The only thing I don't like is it's hard to read what this is supposed to be. So, I'm going to say this now. I'm starting to lose my voice. So, we're actually going to end on Patamon, because my voice is starting to go out. And we've been at this for actually more like an hour and 50 minutes because of that phone call. Again, I'm sorry about that phone call. It was important to come up. Next session, we are getting to Renamon. Next session is Renamon. We are getting to Renamon next session. It's just that voice. But I think this was a good session to go through. We went through a lot of designs very fast. Had some new perfects. Only issue was that phone call, and I really wish it didn't occur today. But such is life. As for plans, I'll probably be doing another stream in about 2 weeks. We'll see how things go. My schedule may be picking up a bit. As for other things, where I am still working on the review, hopefully I can get the recordings done tomorrow so I can start editing moving forward. Hopefully that review will come out. So there's that. Again, I want to apologize to everyone about that phone call. That should not have come up, but things like that can be important. But like I said, next session, mark my words, we are hitting Renamon. We are going to hit Renamon. So how many rookies are left? So I'm going to count silently. We have about 50 more Digimon coming up. And that's provided if Bandai and Toei do not add more Digimon. Because we've been having new Digimon coming out recently. Most of them are for that card game manga, but we are getting through the rookies. I think we have maybe 2, maybe 3, possibly 4 more sessions before we hit all the rookies and we get into the champions. But hey, this is helping me learn to conserve my voice. But yeah, we've come a long way from this being a small experiment to actually doing this on a regular basis. So I have quite a ways to go, but we're getting there. We are going through these rookies pretty fast. So, I guess while we're here, just to make up for time from the that phone call, is there anything you guys want to talk about? Any questions? Any behind the scenes kind of things? any questions, any concerns you have, anything you want to talk about, something to make up for that phone call. Now, I'm open to any questions. Do you think we will get a main lead in an anime who Digimon isn't part of the Dragon Roar? So, one of the things... So, I do think at some point we will get a Digimon that isn't part of the Dragon Roar. Because one of the things Digimon has noticed is patterns appear. And they oftentimes like to poke fun at those patterns. And I think we're getting to the point where they're going to start looking at the Digimon coming in and go like, okay, let's not have a dragon. And I know some people would say, well, what about Seekers? Seekers had a main character whose partner wasn't part of Dragon's Roar. The thing I'll say about Seekers is it kind of came and went. And it really didn't have much impact on Digimon outside of Logomon. So, basically, what I'm saying is, I do think we will get at some point a Digimon show where the main character's partner is not of Dragon's Roar. I do think that will occur at some point. Whether that's going to be soon or far in the future, it's hard to say. The only thing you'd have to be careful is after Frontier, Bandai started to become very formulaic with the series. So, for instance, they realized, hey, we could have five main leads, but that takes up a lot of time. So let's limit it to just 3. And we need to make, and then they do Data Squad, and then they went, well, hold on, we need to give the main character goggles. So they recognize that, hey, we need three main leads, and we need to give the main character goggles. It's going to be I think the next question will be, can they do a lead character without a dragon Digimon? And I think it's possible. Whether or not Bandai is going to do that and experiment with it, hard to say. It's one of those things like mandates in Sonic, where someone wants to do something unique with the design, but there could be someone higher up who goes, no. But as I've seen with these companies, people move on. People who are higher up change their mind. They age out and think, well, maybe I overreacted. So I would say give it time. Maybe in another 2 anime seasons, I suspect there will be a leader without a Dragon's War Digimon. Maybe even the next anime. Who knows? But yeah, I can see it happen. It's going to take some time and some effort from Bandai. Toei. I'm sorry, I confused the two. It doesn't help that Bandai does the games, usually, and Toei does the anime. I get confused over who owns what. And I do reviews on them. Yay. Any other questions? Any other things you want to talk about? Hobbies, concerns, questions. I'm open. Do you think the X-Antibody will appear in the anime? That's a good question. The problem with X Antibody is it was so associated with that element of the show, with the X Antibody manga and the X Antibody movie. And one of the things I have found with a lot of anime productions is they don't tend to go back to earlier ideas outside of references. The best example I have seen of this that explain this is what Disney told the crew that did Power Rangers. For those who don't know, in the I think it was the first or second season Disney did Power Rangers, the crew came up to their Disney reps and said, "Hey, we do a anniversary every season. We do an episode where we cross over with the previous season Rangers, and and it's like the 10th anniversary, or I think the 5th anniversary, something like that." And they said, "We want to get everyone back together and do like a special." And Disney looked at them and said, "Why are you advertising toys that no longer sell?" And I think that's kind of the problem with X Antibody. It's a neat idea, but why are you advertising toys that we don't sell anymore? That being said, let me get it down from up on my thing. Bandai does recognize there's an interest in X Antibody because, let me get this on screen. For those who don't know, this is the instruction manual to how to put together Alphamon from Bandai's Figure... Is this Figma? No. From their model kit. So, they recognize there's still interest in the series. They still recognize there's interest in X Antibody. But as, say, a concept in an anime, I think we'll see some of the X Antibody Digimon, but I don't think they're going to want to be like, they have X Antibodies, send them away, send them away. I don't think so. I think if they were to use X Antibody as a storyline again, actually, before I continue, I don't see them use X Antibody because of Cool Boy. Cool Boy, for those who don't know, was a character that appeared in the original X Antibody line. We know nothing about him. If there is something about him, it's something in the manga that has not been translated. But given it's been years since he's appeared and we know nothing, I'm liable to suspect that he was nothing. He later appeared in the card game, but he's using a different Digimon. And the fact that they're using the concept of the character, but not his backstory, tells me that they're moving on from the X Antibody as a story beat. That being said, given that Bandai and Toei like to go back into the past, it wouldn't surprise me if at some point they did use X Antibody. But as is, I don't think they're going to revisit that outside of his cameo or appearance. Which Digimon do you want to have a Jogros, aka DNA Digivolution? I would like to see a Jogros. I would say two. There are 4 types of 4 Digimon, but 2 sections. Now you're actually making me mad more. I'll say there are 3. I'll explain. I would like to see some kind of Jogros between Alphamon and Sakuyamon. Mostly because I like Alphamon, and I also like the Sakuyamon line. And I would like to see some sort of... I don't know what that concept would look like. I don't know if that would be Sakuyamon using the Oryukin. I don't know if that would be Alphamon having a bunch of Kitsune tails or fire appearing at them. I don't know if it would be something else. I kind of would like to see what they could do with Sakuyamon and Alphamon. That being said, not Sakuyamon X Antibody, because I do not like Sakuyamon X Antibody. That just looks... I'm not going to say it here because there are some... I'll bring it up when we see it. That's the first one I'd like to see. The second one I would like to see is Minervamon and Ryutamon, because I would like to see a Minervamon or Yukin mode, and not say Minervamon X Antibody or Mervamon with the Oryukin. I'd like to see little tiny gremlin Minervamon with some type of the Oryukin. And that is a design I think could work, mixing those two things. Which I think it also works because Minervamon is, as far as I can tell, the only one of the Olympus 12 that have an X antibody form. The last one I would say I'd like to see a Jogros is an Appmon and a Digimon. Which one I kind of would like Offmon, or one of Offmon's Digivolutions having a Jogros, but I don't know which Digimon. And the reason I say that is I like Appmon as a show, and I like some of the Appmon designs, and I would like to see some sort of connection between the two, between Appmon and Digimon, making this hybrid. That being said, I don't know if we will ever see that, especially since Appmon, it's referenced and talked about in Digimon, but I don't know if we'll ever actually see a Jogros. We'll see them do more with it. And I guess we'll do one more question. That helps. So basically, the three Jogrosses is Alphamon, Sakuyamon, with Sakuyamon, Ryutamon with Minervamon, and Offmon with one of the other Digimon, and I don't know which. So, I guess one last question, if you want to ask it. Well, I guess I'll give it about 30 more seconds before we sign off. So I think, favorite Digimon line. So this will be the last question before we go to final thoughts and everything. My favorite Digimon line is the Dorumon line. I like having Dorumon become Dorugamon, becoming Dorugreymon, and then Alphamon. Although in recent years I've been showing a little bit of, I do like Dorugorumon. Don't know how to pronounce it. But yeah, it's the Doromon line. I really like that line. That's because I like Doromon. Other than that, I also have I do like the Renamon line, going from Renamon to Kyubimon. Not a big fan of Taomon because it kind of breaks things. But going from that to Sakuyamon, interesting line. I also like Kazuhamon, that direction as well. I'm actually surprised there's no purple Renamon. But other than that, it's mostly the Dorumon line because it's just the line I like. Every other, it's just, well, I want to use this Digimon to reach this. Like for instance, I have a fan line where it goes Black Gatomon to what was it, Lady Devimon to Minervamon, but that doesn't really fit story wise. I like Minervamon as a design. I like that Digimon. It's just getting that line is weird. But yeah, hands down, it's the Doromon line. Yes, Renamon will be the next stream. It will be the next stream, and I will make sure we spend a good bit of time on Renamon. I was hoping we would speed through and do it this session, but my throat is dying. But yeah, so final thoughts. I'll be looking to stream in about 2 weeks. The plan is, if I can get a calendar up, I'm looking to stream on the 17th, and it looked, oh, that's President's Day. But yeah, I'm looking to stream on the 17th. That's the plan for how things are going. Other than that, if I don't stream, if we do this and I'm not streaming something, that's a good chance that that's because I'm working on a review and I want to get it done. So we'll see where that goes. Other than that, I am kind of thinking of the future, and I'm considering at some point doing the Appmon once we do more of the Digimon. It wouldn't be after the rookies. That would have to be maybe once we do all of them. And there's a possibility that I may want to do Pokemon. Look at the Pokemon designs. But right now that's so far ahead that this is where things are going. Other than that, there are plans to, depending on how subscriptions and how I'm doing subscriber-wise and the like, we may see more streams that are more game-based. Final kind of note, this is more from me of personal, I don't know where work schedule is going with me, so there may be some sessions that I may have to cancel due to work-related things. So, yeah. But we'll see. We'll get to that when we get there. Remember to like and subscribe. Remember to share to others. And yes, thank you, V Scorpios. We did do a good video. I just wish I didn't have that phone call. This happens. But, yeah. Great video. Great time. I'll see you all in 2 weeks on President's Day in the U.S. Or whatever happens on the 17th. But yeah, that's the plan. We'll see how it goes. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Blue Sky, the link should be in the other videos. And yeah, we'll go from there. Be safe, and yeah.